Have you ever found yourself staring at that little Wi-Fi symbol on the seat back in front of you, just wondering, is it worth it? Is this thing going to be a gateway to getting work done, or is it just a portal to pure frustration? Well, you are definitely not alone. In-flight connectivity can feel like a total puzzle, but today we're going to solve it together. You know, flying used to be this forced digital detox, right? It was one of the last places on Earth where you were truly, completely unreachable. But now, that very same space can be your office, your movie theater, your connection to everything happening down below. It's that shift that makes figuring out the systems so important. So, that's the big question, isn't it? How do you become one of those savvy travelers who just gets it? The person who masters the Wi-Fi, knows all the rules, and actually manages to stay connected and productive. Let's break it all down. Okay, first things first, and this is absolutely crucial. Not all in-flight Wi-Fi is created equal, not even close. Your experience can be wildly different from one airline to the next, and sometimes even between two different planes from the exact same airline. It's a real patchwork out there. I mean, just look at this slide. It really highlights how incredibly diverse the whole situation is. You've got JetBlue over here offering free service to literally everyone. Then there's Delta, where it's free, but only if you're a loyalty member. And then you have Hawaiian, which is a total game changer with its free, super fast Starlink. The big takeaway here is simple. Do a little homework on your airline's policy before you even get to the airport. And speaking of game changers, look at this number, 161.76. That's the median download speed on Hawaiian Airlines flights that are using Starlink. That is faster than a lot of people's home internet. The whole era of painfully slow, barely usable Wi-Fi in the sky, yeah, its days are numbered. So you're thinking, great, I've got all the speed, I can finally take my Zoom calls from 35,000 feet. Well, not so fast. There's this universal rule about in-flight Wi-Fi, and trust me, there are some pretty solid reasons for it. Yeah, this isn't just a friendly suggestion from the airline, it's an actual federal regulation. Both the FAA and the FCC have really strict rules that prohibit any voice or video calls using the plane's Wi-Fi. And the reasons kind of fall into two big buckets. On the technical side, there's a long-standing concern, we're talking since 1991, about potential interference with the plane's sensitive electronics. But just as important is the social side. Come on, just imagine being in a cabin with 150 different conversations happening at the same time. It would be absolute chaos, and it could even be a safety issue if you can't hear the crew. All right, so knowing the rules is one thing, but actually using the system to your advantage, that's a whole other level. Now that we've got the lay of the land, let's get into some real power moves. These are the tips and hacks that can save you money, protect your data, and make your connection way better. Let's start with a really powerful one, the travel router. This little gadget is, and I'm not kidding, a total game changer. Basically, it connects to the plane's Wi-Fi, and then it creates its own little private network just for you. So you only have to buy one Wi-Fi pass, but you can connect your phone, your laptop, your tablet, everything. And using it is super simple. First, you connect the router itself to the plane's Wi-Fi. Then you use one of your devices, like your laptop, to go through the router and pay for that single pass. After that, you just connect all your other gadgets to your new private network. If you're traveling with family or just have a bunch of devices, this is a huge money saver. Okay, this next point is incredibly important, so listen up. That in-flight Wi-Fi network is a public network, and you absolutely have to treat it like one if you want to keep your data safe. The risks you face up there are pretty much the same as at any coffee shop or hotel. You're sharing a connection with a bunch of strangers, and that could expose you to things like data snooping or even phishing attacks that are designed to look like they're coming from the airline itself. So the real key here is a mental shift. Just because you're at 35,000 feet doesn't mean you're in some kind of secure digital bubble. The convenience of having Wi-Fi on a plane should never come at the cost of your digital security. So what can you actually do about it? Number one, and this is non-negotiable, always use a VPN. It encrypts all your traffic, basically making it unreadable to anyone else on the network. Second, be extra careful about any suspicious-looking emails or links. And third, a good tip is to turn off automatic software updates. This saves your bandwidth and reduces potential security holes. We've all been there, right? You connect to the Wi-Fi network, your device says you're connected, but that login page, the one where you're supposed to pay or sign in, it just won't load. Don't worry, there are a few simple fixes. Before you start flagging down a flight attendant, try these tricks first. Clear your browser's cache and cookies. Or, if you have a VPN or ad blocker running, try turning them off just for a second. Here's a real pro tip.
Try navigating to a non-secure website like yahoo.com. That can often force the login page to pop up. And of course, the classic, just restart your device. It works more often than you'd think. But let's be realistic. What if the Wi-Fi is too expensive, or it's just painfully slow, or maybe you just want to disconnect? A truly smart traveler always has a plan B, and that's where your offline toolkit comes in. Being ready to work or keep yourself entertained without an internet connection isn't a sign of failure. It's actually a sign of being a really smart traveler. By loading up your devices with the right apps before you even leave home, you're giving yourself total independence from whatever the plane's connectivity situation is. And you can really break these tools down into a few main categories. You've got apps for reading articles you've saved, really powerful productivity suites for getting work done, security tools for when you're on the move, and even cool creative apps for drawing or editing. The works. Here are just a few great examples to get you started. An app like Pocket is amazing for saving all those articles you swore you were going to read. Apache OpenOffice is a free, powerful alternative to Microsoft Office that works completely offline. You can even bring portable security tools or a surprisingly good drawing app with you. So at the end of the day, whether you're cruising online with a super fast connection or you're totally offline with your own curated toolkit, the goal is exactly the same. You are in control of your time in the air. The whole point here is empowerment. By understanding how in-flight Wi-Fi really works, knowing how to keep yourself secure, and preparing to be offline just in case, you get to decide how you spend your time. You're not at the mercy of the system anymore. But it does make you wonder, right? As this constant, seamless connectivity in the sky just becomes normal, what do we lose? Is there something valuable about that forced disconnection we used to have? It's definitely something to think about on your next flight.